All right, welcome everybody. It is Monday, February 25th already. So we are heading towards the end of the month. I hope that things are going the way that you planned with your monthly action plan. And now's a good time. We've got several days before the end of the month to take a look at where you are, maybe connect with your business coach and make sure that you are, hitting what you had set out to do for this month. And my name is Dee Korchin. If I didn't say that, happy to be here with you guys tonight. We are coming off a fabulous event in Atlanta, thanks to Meg and Lauren and others on our team that spoke and helped play such a vital role in pulling that together. We had about 147 people who attended that meeting, and just a lot of energy and good things happening. So thank you for that. And I am very excited, you guys. We have Zena Friedman, give her a round of applause, who's going to help us out tonight with tonight's call. Zena, I thought, was such a great selection to help out because we're going to talk about getting a new coach started strong. And Zena, you probably saw I announced this earlier this week that Zena reached fully integrated business coach. So that means she is successfully getting coaches started and rising to helping them rise up to senior coach or beyond. So congratulations, Zena. Thanks for being with us tonight. Unmute yourself. Say hey.
Hey. Yeah, very, very exciting. Thank you, everybody. It's been an exciting little journey. I love it. Thank you.
And next Monday night, remember the first Monday night of every month, we're going to do our new client call, which we'll do Monday night at 7. And then at 7:30, we'll do our coach call, which is our monthly celebration of our rank up. So we'll hear more from Zena and others on our team at that point. So tonight's topic I thought was so good because I personally have felt that maybe I didn't know or have the skills to be able to get a coach started successfully. Can anybody raise their hand or nod if they've at times felt maybe a little inadequate? Okay, so pretty universal. And if you didn't raise your hand, maybe it just wasn't high enough. But I think we've probably all been in that place. So I thought this was just a great chance that we can just talk about it, right? And I would love to hear from you. Let's just start. If somebody would jump in, maybe something you learned from watching the pre-training and maybe how that shifted your thought process or how you might approach things. Shauna, we'll have you go, and then Beth, okay?
Well, I don't know if it was so much a learn, but I really liked what they said in the beginning about being a bricklayer, a wall builder, and a cathedral creator. It made so much sense to me to look at it because I'm a real visual or analogy kind of a person. And I liked that because if we don't learn those basic steps along the way, it's difficult once you get, a lot of clients to do it properly. So I really liked that, and it made me realize that I probably have not focused a lot on those very basic things, as I brought coaches on. So that was kind of an eye-opener for me there.
What were some of the basic things you think you might have been missing that you think would be effective if you now implemented them?
Maybe not encouraging strongly enough the coach-led helping them with their first calls and things like that. If I meet a little resistance there, I'll just, okay, well, go ahead and I think that that's something that I need to focus more on, being a little bit more. I know you can't make somebody do something, but just being a little bit more, teaching them a little bit more about that rather than not wanting to push somebody where they're not comfortable going. Because I know for me in the beginning, I felt like if I had Lori get on a call with me, it made me look like I didn't know what I was doing. So it was my pride really that got in the way. And, I think we need to kind of work past that sometimes, and because it is a very duplicatable process. And if we're not really getting our clients and coaches there, then they're not going to teach it. So it was just another reminder that kind of slapped me in the face this morning. And so that was important for me to hear that again.
And Zena, you had some thoughts around that too, right? You've been in a similar position.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I love that, Shauna. That was a big thing for me. I always heard about laying the bricks and building the wall and all that, but I never really put it together in this kind of way. And I also, as far as when we're building our business, having that foundation for us, it's not about going fast, it's about having that strong foundation. And so I really got to see that, and that's important. But I realized that there are people that want to do it on their own, and I step back, just like you say, and I step back and think, well, but what I got from this lesson today is that we are. It's like the 5-in-1 plan. You follow the 5-in-1 plan, and you have success. You follow what the coaches, what is our mentorship and how it's done, and we're creating success that way. And it's just that's what it's about. And also this is the model. Like when coaches will follow this model of what we're doing, and that it's duplicatable, that's become my new favorite thing. And just to jump out of this for a minute, it's like keeping it fun, keeping it simple, but duplicatable. And that's the whole key. So that's my thing when working with coaches now. If they have a resistance to wanting to do it this way that we've just been taught, this is why we want to do it. Keep it duplicatable, and that's going to keep it fun. And, it's like, this is our business model. And I can talk to coaches about that more. So, I think it's great.
Well, I think Larry just phrased it really well. I saw him put it in the chat that, that many of you have gone before us, right? And that have learned and have set this precedent. We don't have rules just to have rules, right? The benefit is to the new coach when they come on, if they follow the process. So I think our real goal as their sponsor or business coach is that we want to show them why they would want to follow the process, right? And help ease their insecurities. Like, I think that's so great what you said, Sean, about having a little bit of pride. And honestly, something that Wordy and I have heard and I now use is I will say to somebody, you know what, because it's true. I'll say, you know what, you are bringing so many skills to this, or you are so bright, or you are so gifted. Your natural tendency is probably going to want to just run with this. But if you'll just slow down, just humble yourself just to learn our process, I know that you'll catch on quickly, and then you'll just make it so much easier on yourself as you go forward. And I feel like if we do that we validate them where they are, but then show them why they would want to, that I'm getting a much better response. And I think that it also shows the real importance of doing that meet and greet call with your coach within 24 hours. And if you are the coach that's doing the meet and greet, that we want to edify, my role with you, Sean, or Lori's role with you would be to edify what you've already told them. And you know what I mean? And to edify and encourage them again to follow the process and why. So layer it up for you. Larry?
Yeah, real quick, I was just going to add too, Becca Tinter, first of all, she's amazing. I mean, she's outside our organization. Whenever she speaks or I hear her putting something out there, I always jump in. She's a great business leader within the company. And I think a lot of that is, her background. She's an educator by trade. So she knows how to connect with people and really make sure that the learnings are received. She's listening a lot. She's listening for understanding, and then she's sharing that information back in a way that can be digested in the right way. So a lot of the things that I heard, again, let's keep it fun. Let's not overwhelm them right away. Let's give them enough to keep them going, and we'll continue the journey together. So that kind of stuff, again, I thought it was a great training. And again, anytime I see Becca, I'm going to listen up. She does a fantastic job.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also she's on the new coach training that we have, and that if we can direct our new coaches to be on that coach training, she's going to say a lot of that stuff for us as well. So Beth Bilton wanted to offer it up for you.
I was just going to say, I had several coaches a couple years ago, and I guess we have more systems in place now than we did a couple years ago. And I think that is absolutely fantastic that Optavia has done that. So I had no idea we were supposed to be doing journey kickoff calls and the first few calls with our coaches. So sorry, Lonnie. I didn't know we were supposed to be doing that. So that's what I learned new today or yesterday. And I'll definitely start putting that in practice with new coaches that I bring on. So I thought that was great.
And I think really, I think she made it pretty clear, just your first or second, just one or two times with them, just so that they catch on and get it, and then can repeat it, and they'll know what that looks like. So yeah, I mean, Becca said it, and I mean, I think she was more generous to herself than I would be me. She said if she could have like her first 4 or 5, first coaches back, it would look a lot different today. And I would say, a lot more for me. We all wish we could kind of go back, right? Our first clients, our first coaches, get a do-over.
I'd like to say something about the watering of the plant analogy, because I thought that was kind of really neat. For me, myself, I have overwatered and I've underwatered. And that is so obvious when I look at it like that. If I'm underwatering and I have not giving enough information, that I could see where they're just like lingering there in space, not really knowing what to do. And now, though, with our trainings and directing to trainings, that's really great. But then with the overwatering, I have done it where I feel overwhelmed for them because there's so much information that I can give. And because I've had the experience of the underwatering, I'm now wanting to give more and make sure that somebody has everything. And I get to see it's like, woo, let me step back now. I'm not going to do anything. And that's exactly, so it's that I need a meter for my watering. But yeah, so that was kind of neat for sure.
Yeah, if I can add to that too, Zena, that's a great example. I'm seeing some items light up here. Beth's comment about not knowing certain things. I mean, that can be an example of, again, that overwatering. We give a lot to our coaches sometimes, and it's not digested. It doesn't all sink in, and that's okay. That is totally okay. That's why we have these venues to talk about just ongoing training. So today, this training that we had with Becca was perfect because Beth's picking up, and I see some other folks in the chat are picking up on things that we might have missed because, again, there was maybe too much going on at one time. And again, that's okay because we all learn in different ways and we all take in information in different ways. So excellent point.
Everyone, there's a lot of us on the line, so I'm sure we all had a different takeaway, and would love to hear maybe something you're still struggling with, or if you are bringing on a new coach, maybe what some of your apprehensions or hesitations might still be at this point. Katie? Yeah, sure. Katie, can you unmute?
Got it. Yeah, I've been talking to a woman for over a month now. And she couldn't, she wants to do it because I definitely wanted to be a coach, but she's had some issues because she was applying for other jobs that she had to pay bills, that kind of thing. And she's got a little girl and she was moving. And so I have just been following up with her about every week and a half. My question, I think, what I'm struggling with is, I don't want to bombard her and actually make it more unattractive about, are you ready to coach? And so the last time I said it, I just said, I just wanted to see if your interest is still there. I've sent her the trilogy call with Becca that was so good. That was like 15 minutes. Which I think was, it just encased Optavia and what it is in a nutshell. And I sent her the one about the mom boss one. And she said that she really could identify with those. And so when I talked to her last week, she says, I definitely want to do it. And so I just don't know, the next step for that. You know, like, okay, well, do you want to get your coach's kit? Do you want to do, I mean, how do you go past this, you know, this following up every week?
Did you do a Coach Explore with Julie, or were you doing on your own?
We've done that.
And in that process, were you able to identify a few people that she might want to help get healthy? You know, usually in that call, we'll start kind of making a list of who's on their heart.
She said that she had a few that have already approached her in the gym when she works out, and she didn't feel, they come up to her and they ask her what she's doing. Can she help them? And she told me that she doesn't feel like she has the credibility because she's not a personal trainer and she's not a health coach. And so she says, well, no, but I have a great person I can refer you to. And she was talking about me. And that's when I said, well, you know, that's when I really made her aware of how she should coach. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of when, and I've given her the Habits of Health book to just look over. I just feel like I've done all the preliminary stuff for her to know what Optavia is. And so I just don't know how, like, should I just leave it alone and let her come to me for a couple weeks to see, like, to make sure she's really interested? I don't know what to do.
At this point is, because this could be a tough situation. I understand how you're feeling with it. Are you communicating by phone, or is this primarily by text or email messages?
And in person. I've done all three.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done all three. I've seen her in person, I've texted her, and we've talked on the phone.
Yeah. So yeah, Julie just asked a great question. Does she know that you'll be with her all along the way and help her? Because I think that I would almost get to a point that I would say to her, like, what is her first name?
Renata.
Like, hey, Renata, like, you know, we've talked about this quite a bit. You've expressed interest. We've talked about there are friends that you could help. Could you just be honest with me? Is there anything we're not talking about, or any reason why you're not comfortable moving forward yet?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know, maybe there's something else there, and it's probably fear. And my experience has been that the longer we wait with them and either don't talk about that fear or just let it go on, it's almost like the client with the program. There'll never be the right time. There'll always be an excuse. There'll always be, and that's really usually just masking some sort of fear behind it.
Okay. She admitted to that, so that was good. So, okay. So I'm doing the right thing, it sounds like.
Absolutely. And you just read through the chat. I'm seeing a couple quick messages from people that maybe it is fear, and maybe she just needs some reassurance, you know, that you'll help her with language, how she would reach out to those people, that you would help her, you know, get started and be with her the whole way. Because I don't know about you, but like before I started coaching, I mean, there can be this expectation or mental framework that you think you have to know it all, right? Mm-hmm. Like, or that you're going to be thrown into it. It's going to be this big deal, and you're going to have 50 clients, and you're not going to know what to do with them. And you know, it's not really the way it turns out. But and then Julie's saying, being a new coach, it can be overwhelming. Yeah, so that's really good. Do you want to speak to that, Julie, as one of our newest coaches?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I am a new coach, and so I'm listening to all of this. And in my previous corporate life, I did coaching. Health coaching is new for me. And I know, being a new coach, I can have that, I can do that health assessment, and I can ask all those questions. I'm fine with that. The part that scares me is I don't feel comfortable enough with the product and being able to answer those questions. So I'm trying to put myself in this new coach's position, and maybe that's why she's hesitant on joining, because she feels like she has to know everything. So that's why I put in there saying, does she realize that you're going to walk and hold her hand as she begins, and you'll help her with some of those new conversations that she has? I mean, even some of the terminology I'm not up to date on, so I apologize if I'm not saying it correctly. But just to let her know that you're there with her, that you're not going to let her fall, that you're going to help her along the way. And one of the things that I've learned, because there is a ton of information, I got overwhelmed this afternoon. I spent several hours there's so many different websites to go to and just trying to get it. But I now know that you don't have to know everything. There's resources and there's people that you can reach out to. So if you don't, tell her, you don't have to know everything. If they ask you a question, and just be honest and say, I don't know, but I'm going to find an answer out for you and I'll get back to you. And just make sure that she knows that that's okay to say, I'll find an answer for you.
All right. I love it. The student just became the teacher. How awesome is that, right? She's definitely following the process, and kudos to your mentorship team that gave you that reassurance and are there for you, that you realize that they're who you rely on. So that's awesome. Awesome. Well, who like to hear from some others, and if you got any specific questions for Zena, would love for you to hear a little bit more from her. And I can't see everybody on the screen, so if you've got a thought, just go ahead and unmute yourself. Danny?
So I'll say something then. One of the other things about when you're on a call with a new coach, and I like this, that my coach wants to know how come the new client is contacting me instead of her. And I really love that, letting the new coach or new client know that they're in great hands. And the only reason I'm here is because I've just been doing this a little longer, but they are in great hands, and just really getting them secure with that. And I think that was a big thing. And also with the invitation, and when you're working with getting a new coach, and that closing invitation, that comes easy to me. But I just really got a lot of different ways. Like, I know that I can help you. I hear what you want to accomplish, and I know that I can help you with that. And so, I love that, because I'm always like, I know it all and I can tell them, but now I'm listening and listening and listening, and that's a bigger thing for me. And so, are you ready to get started, whether it's a coach or a client or anything? So, that I love, but I just love that we are just modeling the whole next steps for people. And it's just like Julie said, I mean, it's all here for everyone. So there's really not a reason to be afraid or fearful, because none of us, I know for me, I learn every day. And I'm sure, Dee, you learn every day too, something from, so I think that's just giving a new coach ease their mind up a little, that they don't have to know everything. So.
Yeah, I love the way, thank you, Zena, for that, because I think that I love the way that we layer it up, right? And that's what we want to then, like Shauna, we were talking about from the beginning, we want to be able to duplicate down is, teach each coach. So each new client or each new coach really has 2 layers. They've got, like, they call them their sponsor, the one who was, their coach who brought them on as a coach, and then their business coach above them as well. So we've got that layer. And then, a client has a layer of support as well by having their coach, as well as the coach that's training them how to be a coach. So it's always 2 layers down. And then that's how we can ensure that our clients are going to get the most accurate information, and then our coaches as well. So what was that, Lauren? I missed in the chat there. There was something about a good idea.
Oh, yeah. I was referring back to Beth, who said she has a sticky note on her computer that says, don't talk too much, listen. But I also wanted to add really quick, I think that something that really stuck out to me was just the resources that we have at our fingertips for starting new coaches. And honestly, I haven't been using all of them. And so, like, the starting point video, that 30-minute video that's in Optavia Learn, the new coach checklist. And then she talked about writing, like, the Coach Explore questions on the opposite side of that and just filling that in. I thought that was great. And then the journey kickoff call, sending them, that video. So I'm excited because there's new things that I'm learning all the time. And so I'm excited to start using more of those tools and passing that along to my new coaches and their new coaches as well. And thanks so much for sharing tonight, Zena. We have so much to learn from you.
All right. Mary Lauren. Thanks, Lauren. Did you have something to share as well?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I loved how calm she was, and she had a very peaceful demeanor about her. And I loved how transparent she was. She wasn't afraid to say, yeah, I'm the one that usually kills the plant. I overwater it or underwater it or, whatever. And I think that new coaches appreciate that from us, not in a sense that it's okay to say we're just a screw up all the time, like we don't have any confidence about it, but to say, we're human too, and you're not going to know all the answers, and I'm here for you, and if I don't know it, we'll find it out together. I just thought that was kind of comforting for a new coach it lessens that pressure that we've all said we feel we have to know everything. I just loved her humility, I guess.
That's so good. Thank you for that reminder for everybody, including myself. So thank you. Good. Greg, were you going to ask something before? Greg?
No, I'm good.
Well, we just appreciate you being here. Thanks so much.
Yeah, I'm learning. That's what I'm here for, so I can learn and share.
Fantastic. And as one of our newer coaches, that is great that, hope that you're participating in this and you get a picture from what you're going to hopefully receive as a new coach, and then what you can then give to others as well.
Thank
you.
Good.
All right.
One thing I want to say, one more thing about knowing their why, really understanding when you're talking to this new coach, what is their why? What is their motivation? I want something so much for someone, and I have to back up and say, what do they want for them? So I can direct them better. So that was a big thing for me, just knowing their why, as we do with our clients. But
exactly, and it kind of goes back to what Katie had brought up with her potential coach, is kind of like knowing how's this going to serve that coach, and bringing it back to why would she want to do it. So that's a really good reminder. Really good reminder. All right, we've got about 1 minute left.
Hey, it's Lynette.
Hi, Lynette.
I just, while we were talking tonight, I messaged one of my clients. So Sean and I are going to set up a call to coach call this week. So yay.
A Coach Explorer?
Coach Explorer.
Yay. Awesome. That's fantastic. And I saw several people mentioning that they thought they were going to bring on some coaches this week. So that's a great sign that what we're learning, that we're embracing, so much of it starts with the mindset and then stepping into this. And, Meg, you have shared before that you had a lot of apprehension about coaching, and that you think it now kind of follows. It's not really that different from coaching a client. Can you kind of close us with maybe something on that?
Yeah. Well, that's exactly how I have felt for so long. Is I was resistant to starting coaches because I didn't know how to do it all, and I didn't know the process. And I'm a learner by doing things so much. But what I realized is if you can coach a client, you can coach a coach, because all it is walking them through our process, walking them through the great framework that all the leaders have given to us. So just like the 5-in-1 is you eat the 5 fuelings, you drink your water, you're lean and green, you're good to go. The same is true with coaching. And it's just like having fun with another person. And I love what Lauren said about dreaming with them, figuring out what the opportunity for coaching could be. But yeah, they're very similar, and it's so much fun. Y'all, when you help somebody start having fun, and because think about what you love about coaching, letting, sitting in the passenger seat when somebody's driving into freedom, when they're getting healthy, and there's nothing like watching another coach get to do that, and then to be, receive the rewards of that and how their life changes. So it's really fun.
That's good. Zena, I wanted you to share thank you, Meg. Thank you for share for a minute, because you have brought on some really awesome coaches that have fallen in love with coaching. And so how does that feel as a business coach to know that you've brought something into somebody's life that is really bringing them great joy?
It's just truly amazing. I mean, when I started with the program, and I wanted a coach because I wanted everyone to feel as good as I felt as a client, that's how bigger it is for someone coaching now, and what it feels like to, be there for so many people getting healthy, and then financially. I mean, that it's just such a pretty little package, that some people, that's not their thing, and it's just the clients getting healthy. But I love seeing all my different coaches and their different whys and what it is for them. And everybody is loving it for all different reasons. And it's a great joy. And again, the bottom line, keep it fun, keep it simple, and duplicatable. And with that, you can't go wrong. And everybody's loving it. So I'm excited.
Perfect. Well, excellent. Thank you, Zena, for facilitating this call with us. It's great to hear your voice, and all you've learned and shared, has been so valuable. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. I really encourage you guys, we purposely do this call so it finishes at 8, so you can hop over to Dr. A's coach call. So that link is in the same message that you got this link from. So go ahead and hop over there and see what's really going on at the Dr. A level, and really this mission you're a part of. So we'll see you next week. Remember, next week will be 7 o'clock, the client call. We'll share more info on that. Have a great night.
Thanks, everyone.
I think tonight's on training on this new computer on the systems.
Ooh, thank you, Julie. We definitely need to get over there.
I read that. So.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so training on the new system.